Welcome back. City 1, United 0. FA Cup final review. Champions League final preview as well. Guests on the channel, it's Luke MCFC. He was here for the Bayern Munich preview, I think it was. Yeah, he's back on the channel to give his thoughts, mainly on the Champions League final. But yeah, like the video, it helps other City fans find the channel and the video. Subscribe if you're new. And yeah, let's get into it with Luke. So welcome back to the channel, Luke. Yeah, last time you were here for Bayern Munich. It turned out to be a good omen. We didn't get you for Real Madrid, but that worked out all right. Back for the Champions League final now, right after the FA Cup. So we'll start there with the FA Cup, really. FA Cup, second trophy in the bag. Premier League done a couple of weeks ago, done way too early actually, which is a little bit annoying. But FA Cup, second trophy in the bag. 2 out of 3. FA Cup final, what did you make of it?
Yeah, I thought it just went the way we all thought it would, didn't it? It was sort of quite an easy win. I don't think we played particularly well, but I think that was more down to the conditions. It was very hot and tiring, but it wasn't anything too concerning. But I do think the last few weeks after we secured the Prem, we have taken our foot off the gas a bit, and I'm hoping that we're up for the final, and I think we will be. But in regards to the FA Cup, yeah, good win, good result. Never really looked in danger. And the main important thing was there was no injuries. So on the whole, I'm quite a happy bunny about that, yeah.
Apart from like Kyle Walker, but I'm going to assume he's going to be back. Although, he was missing today, wasn't he?
Yeah, so he said he was missing because he's just old and needs another day to recover.
And
I think he was doing media duties as well. So yeah.
Was he in the press conference?
Yeah, but I don't know why he'd need a day off training for that. That's what everyone was saying under my tweet. But surely, what I don't get is, if you were going to send a player off training for media duties, surely you'd send a shit one. Like you'd send like Calvin Phillips or something. You wouldn't send Kyle Walker. Right? But
you can't be having Calvin Phillips in a press conference before the Champions League final. Like,
I don't know. I'll just send Rodri could do the rest. Chuck him out there. But
it's definitely not a rest thing from media duties. That's just a load of waffle. That's the first time I've ever heard of that even.
Well, Walker. I think he said that he's just old and needs an extra day to recover from the final. Which sounds about right.
Yeah, fair. He's usually always on about saying that he feels 25 though, but I don't think it's a problem, to be fair. But what I just want to on the FA Cup, just because how they'll be partying now. Do you know you were saying maybe fitness wise? Because I remember Grealish said in an interview after we won the FA Cup final, I don't know who it was with, but he was like, the fact that they were out on the drink for like a couple of days, kind of, he basically said he was gassed because he didn't have enough training. I'm hoping it's not a factor. They definitely won't admit it if we lose afterwards, but they might if they win. But do you think it could become a factor again if they go out too much for a second week in a row?
Well, I look at this from both sides. So one part of me says like, yeah, I'm all for it. You've won a trophy, go celebrate it. But then at the same time, I saw Grealish was celebrating about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, pissed on his story. And I'm thinking, can you not just go 5 days? Like, you've got the biggest game of your life. Can you not just take it seriously for 5 more days, then go on holiday, go to Ibiza, get drunk and shag a load of women and whatever you want to do out there?
Or at least keep it off your story so you don't worry everyone as well. Like.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, whether they put on their stories or not, we know they're doing it.
So it's just you want to plead ignorance. That's all it is, really.
Yeah. The thing is, I think, since we've wrapped up the title, I think there's been a bit of a drop off. But I do think that this competition, we're far more up for than the FA Cup. I don't think we really cared about the FA Cup too much, because you can tell everyone's really focused on this, and I think we'll turn up and play well.
The fact, I think Gundogan even said it afterwards. He was like, after the FA Cup, he was like, this is the one that we really want now. Talking about the Champions League. So that's really there seems to be
like no one gives a shit about the FA. Like, I like the FA Cup, but like none of the
players... Hold on. The amount of tweets I've seen from you saying that we haven't won it enough times,
Yeah, I like it, but the players don't. Like, let's be real here. Other than like the English players, no one really like cares about the history of the FA Cup and all that. I like it because it's a trophy and we never really win it. And as the first trophy I saw City win. But Ilkay Gundogan from Nuremberg, wherever he's from, he doesn't give a fuck, does he?
Grealish was even saying that in interviews. He was like, the foreign boys don't get
don't tell me I'm agreeing with him. But yeah.
Yeah, no, he was like the foreign boys were won't get as much as the England lads. So I thought it was
Yeah,
just funny the fact he came out with that. But yeah,
he is right to be fair. I didn't know he said that. He's sort of. I
yeah,
feel silly for agreeing with him now. But
you don't want to be agreeing with Jack Grealish, like, but
to
he's
be fair, he is, if I had to go on a night out with any City player, it probably
oh
would be
yeah.
him. He does seem quite funny.
To
But
be fair, with any player in the world, it'd probably be him. Like he just
yeah,
there's a reason everyone just kind of likes him. He just seems
he's like
Jack
that younger brother, isn't he?
younger. He's holding the ball to us, but yeah, he
Yeah, I
just
know. But he just has that vibe of like that kind of like nutty younger brother. Like,
he does. Yeah, just Jack the lad. He just seems no. He's not media trained either. He's just
to be fair, according to Twitter, I'm older than him. I'm about 30 years older than him, according to my timeline. But
oh right. Wow. How old does your timeline think?
I don't know. I think I'm about 70 by the sounds of it. But I can confirm I'm not even half that. But
Fair enough. Fair enough.
although my
Um,
birthday is soon, so get those presents in.
send him all the love. Send him all the love on his
We haven't
birthday.
even talked about the final yet. We've been here waffling for 5 minutes.
Which fight? The Champions League final.
Yeah.
Champions League final. Actually, because how do you think Erling Haaland has been playing recently? Not be,
Yeah, that.
not been in the goals as much, but I thought he actually had a good FA Cup final game. It's just maybe the goals aren't there at the moment. Um, his hold of play has improved anyway, but is it like 1 goal in 7 now? Like is it a little bit of a worry? Because I predicted that he wouldn't score in the FA Cup final, but it just doesn't seem to be. I don't know. It just isn't dropping from like it used to.
No, I agree with you. I think the problem with Haaland is, and it's like any sort of strike like that, is all that matters is whether he scores or not. He can do the link up play, but no one really cares. You're not going to judge him on that. You judge him on whether he scores and whether we win. That's
Yeah,
basically it. So I think since we won the Prem, the whole team's dropped off. It's not just Haaland, so I don't want to single him out, but he
yeah.
has 100% he has dropped off as well.
The only
But
reason I'm singling out Haaland because, um,
he was
he
so good before.
no, not even. It's just the fact that did he play the last 2 games? The whole thing with the team dropped off. It wasn't really the team because we actually just dropped all the first team
Rotated.
players.
Yeah.
Apart from the Chelsea game, I think it was.
The thing is, yeah. So he doesn't really need rotating because he just stands still for the whole game, doesn't he? And then he'll make the odd run in behind. But I think when you play him with worse players around him, he's obviously going to get worse service, isn't he? And it's harder to link up with,
Yeah,
Palmer and them lot instead of Bernardo Silva. But yeah, it's a little bit concerning, but I'm not too concerned. And certainly on the whole, his season's been, phenomenal. So it's not a long-term issue at all.
yeah. Because to be fair, I actually thought he had a great FA Cup. He was good in that game. Just his whole play was
Yeah,
just very good.
he had a few good moments, but that's the thing with him. If he doesn't score, it's almost like it's very hard for him to impact the game. That's the role he plays, and that's not
Yeah,
an insult on him. That's just. But then
how
when
it
he does go
plays.
and score three, and people go, "Oh, well, he just scored top in," then
Tapping.
that's what he does.
Yeah,
But
but
obviously,
no,
a lot of people don't really understand football, so yeah.
no, not like us. They're not straight like
Nah,
us.
nah, exactly. Experienced
Oh,
veterans of the game.
also, lineup. Do you think Bernardo Silva still makes the team for the final?
Yeah,
Um,
that was actually something I wanted to speak about. I'm glad you brought it up, even though I wanted to bring it up, but I'll let you have it. So I was basically saying, that's 1-0 you. Anyway, right. For the lineup, I think I'd go for the exact same 11 as it's been, but
yeah,
I think Foden has looked quite good recently off the bench, and Bernardo hasn't looked very good. I would
mm,
still stick with Bernardo and the whole team
yeah,
because I think I'll give them the benefit of the doubt from the FA Cup because it was very hot and you could tell they were all very tired.
yeah.
But if Pep went for Foden, I wouldn't be complaining. I wouldn't be like throwing my toys out the pram or anything. So
It's
I
one
think,
of
yeah, if he went for the other thing is fullbacks as well. I think it'll be a Kanji and Walker because they've been playing. But if he went for
yeah,
Ake, I wouldn't complain either.
yeah. Same as that. To be fair, I think just Ake, if he maybe came back a couple of games earlier and
Mm.
got a little bit of a run, and he may be. But Akanji's just he just seems to be decent. Like if he was performing badly, maybe you could throw Ake in.
Yeah.
But he was actually good in the FA Cup final as well. But on the Bernardo thing, I think just because if we dropped Bernardo and we didn't win, even though it's arguable he could
Oh, I
he,
don't
he
think
could be
anyone would
dropped.
say Pep's overthink for that though. That's not that. It wasn't like he's changed formation. If he changes formation and does something silly like plays five at the back, then they would, but not like that.
But do you not think because it's like don't change a winning team that got us through both Bayern Munich's,
You
both Real
get no.
Madrid's?
You're always gonna whatever he does. You'll always get the idiots who like want to say he's done bad or done good. Like if we played
Yeah,
the exact same team and lost, they'd have gone, "Oh well, why didn't he play Foden or why didn't he play Alvarez? De Bruyne looked tired or some
yeah,
bullshit like that." But yeah, I think just play the same team. If he plays Foden, sure. I think with Ake, there's a difference between being fit and match fit. I think he'd be
yeah.
fit enough to play, but he's just not had a run of games. And Akanji and Walker have been playing so good for so long, he's not going to change it. And the
No,
rest of the
no.
team picks itself. So yeah, I'd
Yeah,
like to
pretty
see
much.
Alvarez come off the bench when players get tired. But other than that,
To
yeah,
be
and
fair,
that's
that Foden and Alvarez kind of link up
yeah.
partnership off the bench does seem to work. I think did they score the final one against Real Madrid? Was it them two?
Yeah, it
Um,
was. And I wrote down our subs. I haven't got it with me because I didn't really make any notes of this. But our subs for the final will probably have Alvarez, Ake, Foden, Mahrez. Who else was there? Laporte, who could all come off the bench. Let's say if we get an injury or we
yeah,
need to change something. So we've got great options. I was looking at Inter Milan and their subs, something which doesn't they're very rigid with their system. They don't like to change it a lot.
yeah.
And it's a very defensive system. And with their subs, they just kind of keep the same system but swap the individuals who do the exact same role. So it's almost as if we go ahead, they're not. It'll be a lot
They
harder for
can't
them
really
to change and
change their
adapt.
game plan.
Yeah.
Really, sort of thing.
Whereas with us, we can whack on, I don't know, like a Foden and Alvarez and all these players. Whereas
In
Inter
multiple
Milan,
roles as well.
they'll just bring on Lukaku and that. But
Who do you think will start? Would you think it's Lautaro and Dzeko, or do you think
yeah, it will be.
Lukaku might come in for Dzeko?
I think they're just going to keep this team they've been going with. And yeah, personally, I think it'll be Dzeko, and Dzeko's a more safe option. But I'd be going for Lukaku. I know it sounds weird. I think Dzeko's better, but I think Lukaku has that. He has more of a chance of winning the game for them. And when you're the underdogs by a large margin like they are,
Yeah,
and they're a team which won't get many chances, and they're going to rely on the counters. And I guess long balls to Dzeko will work. But I think Lukaku, even when he was at Chelsea and when he was really shit at Chelsea, let's not twist it, he was shit at Chelsea. He'd
yeah, yeah.
still he'd still have like one or two games where he was unplayable. He just randomly like right, he's so powerful the way he runs on the
He's
counter
he's a
and he
big
scored
dude.
two goals. Whereas I don't see Dzeko doing that. I think Martinez is obviously going to start. He's
Hmm,
their main man in the up
yeah.
front, and I think it'll be him and Dzeko. Long balls to Dzeko, and yeah, that's the way it'll be.
Also, because they've quite a good few standout individual. Like their keeper Onana is quite decent. They have that
Yeah,
Bastoni lad at the back who I thought his quotes I think it was yesterday were just every single one of them were spot on. Although one of them was he was saying like I'm like a perfect Pep player, but I'm fine here. I wonder what the question for that prompted that answer was. It's
yeah. I
like
haven't seen any of these quotes, but I think he might be like dipping his toes in the water a bit, kind of like steering, trying to up his value, trying to steer some rumours. But yeah, players like doing that, don't they? Try and get
yeah,
themselves a bigger contract.
yeah. It was just a weird one. Players like Barella as well in midfield. He's very good.
He's also scored a lot of goals in the Champions League campaign as well.
Yeah,
So we talk about the main threat is obviously Martinez, but Barella can score a lot. I think in a weird way, they're better. The best players probably Barella and Martinez, but their most important players by far are Asarebi, Bastoni, Darmian, and Onana. Because if they're going to win, they're probably going to have to keep a clean sheet.
oh yeah, they are the type of team.
Certainly, only concede one.
Sorry.
Certainly, they can't concede more than if they concede more than one, it's probably game over, isn't it, with our defence? But I think in the knockout stages, they've only conceded once, and that was to Benfica. Like their one
Okay.
game. I
But
think they kept clean sheets in all the other games.
they've been quite good. I was going to say they've been quite good, but obviously they have if they're Champions League finalists. Even if they did
Yeah,
have the lighter run,
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Since Inter Milan have won 11 of the last 12 games, the only one they didn't win was a game against Napoli, where they rotated half their team in a game which didn't really matter. But more concerningly, from a City's perspective, one of those games was the cup final against Fiorentina, which they won, obviously. And Fiorentina play a very similar style to us. So it shows that their system works against the style. Now, sure, you can say Fiorentina aren't as good as us,
I was
but
going to say that. Yeah.
it's it's still impressive they won that, and they did also win another cup final. They won Super Cup, I think it was, earlier in the season.
Yeah, well, I
But
remember
yeah,
watching that game. That was an impressive win over Milan.
I think they won like 3 or 4-0, didn't
They
they?
won 3-0, and I was very impressed by their left back, DeMarco.
His
Um,
crossing's really good, yeah.
yeah, I kind of wanted him at City after that game, but I don't know if we're still linked with him anymore. I think we should probably go in for Guerrero. He's out of contract in Dortmund.
I
Um,
think that would be a City type of signing, just someone from Dortmund, very easy, accessible. You wouldn't have to put up much of a fight.
and just
Obviously, he
a
hasn't got a
quiet one as
contract.
well. A quiet one as well, just under the radar almost.
Yeah, it's very similar to Kovacic and Akanji, those signings, the way they're not massive names, but they do a good job. They're cheap. They don't expect to play every minute, and there's not a lot of pressure on them to do well. So it wouldn't make sense. I don't think it will happen. I think we'll get Guardiola, but
Yeah, I was gonna
yeah,
say
I
we're
wouldn't say.
we're going for more of that centre back vibe now. At fullback seems to be.
But yeah, anyway, back to the final.
I was gonna take you on a Dortmund tangent there. I was gonna ask you what did you make of their final
Oh
day
god.
antics.
Yeah, well, you include this in the video. Dortmund are the most pathetic club on the planet. They are more pathetic than Spurs,
And
more pathetic than.
I was gonna bring up Harry Kane as well because he's been getting a lot of love recently.
Oh man.
I was
But
gonna.
listen, if he doesn't go to Real Madrid in the summer, he might as well retire because he is the biggest clown on the planet. He's dedicated his whole career to breaking these stupid records that only like a few match of the day watchers care about. He could go to Madrid, finally become a serious footballer at 30 years of age, and actually go on to have a really good career. But instead, he's going to probably go to United or just stay at Spurs just so he can break Shearer's record and waste his whole career so he can brag about a record no one really cares about other than Ian Wright and Gary Lineker.
Yeah, but is it kind of he's wasted so much time he has to kind of go for it now. Um,
Well, yeah, but that's the thing because he's dedicated his whole career to it now. If he gives up, he's almost admitted his whole career so far has been for nothing. Whereas if he goes and wastes even more time, at least he'll have something to brag about. But
do you
yeah,
think
just
he
go to Madrid.
do you
Just
think he's guaranteed trophies at Madrid now with
of
City
course
being
he is. They win
City,
trophies every year.
but City are the more dominant side in Europe.
I didn't
That
say yeah. I'm not saying they're guaranteed to win the Champions League every year, but they're guaranteed to at least win like a Spanish Cup or a league. I still think
uh,
next year Madrid and City will be the two best teams in Europe and competing. I think PSG might be back there, maybe Barca, but I think
yeah.
Madrid have always got a chance of winning it. And I don't know what the last time they went trophyless, but I imagine just going there does guarantee you trophies. They're the most successful club in history, so yeah, I think it does guarantee him trophies. Even him with his allergy to silverware, I think he would win stuff at Madrid.
I just wanted to throw him in there, get your reaction. Who's had the better season, Harry Kane and that Spurs side, or Erling Haaland in this City side?
Oh mate, let's not take the piss. Come on. I like these debates, and what's annoying is like I don't think anyone actually believes that Kane's had a better season. They're just trying to like force a debate for some reason. I think a lot of it's to do with the media. He's got a lot of mates in there. And they're like, but I just don't get it. There's nothing to suggest he's done better. It's almost like there's this weird thing I always found. It's like with Mane and Salah. They almost think like less goals makes you better all round. They use this weird term. He's a more complete player, and the only logic they
Mane.
use is well, yeah, with Mane and Salah, but I'm on about Kane. But that was an example of how they
Yeah.
used to do it. Salah would always outscore Mane, and then they'd go, "Oh, but Mane's more complete." And it's like with Kane, they do the same thing. It's like it's just such bullshit. But yeah, Haaland's had the better season. Kane has wasted another year of his pointless career so far. I mean, he's earned a decent bit of money, I imagine, but like, what is the point? Just go to Madrid, you idiot. Just
Back to City. Do you think?
yeah,
I remember you
keep that in
said.
the video though. That'll be good.
Yeah, I just like it because it wasn't in the last one. We didn't record. I didn't record
Yeah,
the last one, but
yeah.
it is this. I remember you saying on Twitter before. It was like the fact we beat Bayern Munich with 5 Champions Leagues, the fact we beat Madrid with 13, the fact we beat Inter Milan, I think, with 3. Is this the greatest underdog Champions League story if we do win it?
Yeah, well, what I actually said was very similar to that. I thought we were going to play AC Milan in the final. Well, I
Yeah,
said if we did, because Real Madrid, Bayern, and AC Milan, the three most Champions Leagues in history, aren't they? They're the
yeah,
three successful clubs. So I said that would be like obviously there's a bit of sarcasm there. I don't actually think like it's more impressive than like Greece winning the Euros or some bollocks
yeah,
like that, or
yeah.
Leicester winning the league. But it's a joke. It's funny, but I think most people know, like, they can tell when I'm taking the piss. I'm serious like 95% of the time, but
Yeah.
that 5% I troll, I make them funny. But to be fair though, I do think we've had a tough run though. There is and a
Oh,
lot
we've
of like,
we've definitely had the tougher run.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, a lot of the time when I'm taking the piss, there is an element of like truth to it to make it believable. And you
Yeah.
can't say we've had an easy run. You look at our group, Dortmund. I mean, they're fucking useless, but they should have won the Bundesliga. If they weren't massive bottle jobs, they would have won that. Sevilla won the Europa League. Then we played Leipzig, who I thought at the time was a really tricky draw.
Yeah.
It's proven to be quite an easy draw, but at the time I thought it was quite tough. Bayern and Real, they were the two best teams left. So, and Inter have just magically become a good team as soon as we've drawn them. So if we
Yeah.
do it, and the same with the FA Cup. I think I tweeted this out the other day. We played Chelsea, Arsenal, and United to win the FA Cup. How many teams have had to play three of the other five big six to win the FA Cup?
It's like we
So,
always get like the stick thrown at us for getting easy draws, and we
I'll
have done in
tell you what
some
it is right
years,
now. I'll tell you what it is. There's idiots who don't understand basic probability. There's about 100. How many teams are in the FA Cup? There's about 150 teams in the FA Cup. Of
Yeah.
course, the first few rounds, the chances are you're not going to get 5 out of those 156 teams or whatever it is. I don't know how many teams are in the FA Cup. You know what I mean? The chances are so slim. And then they go, oh, you got an easy draw. Or the round of 16 because we won our group. We got a team who didn't win their group. And they go,
In the
oh,
Champions League, yeah, exactly.
and it's like, well, yeah, we got put in pot one because we won the league and you didn't. That's why you've got a harder. Why are you crying? And part of it as well is like, I don't know whether they're saying it just for agendas or whether they're like that stupid. They don't understand that we won the league. That's why we've been rewarded with an easier draw.
Yeah.
But you certainly can't say it this year. We've had it tough, and we've not only had it tough, but we've annihilated them as well. Bayern we annihilated, Madrid we annihilated, Leipzig we annihilated. I think we were annihilating Inter Milan, but
we annihilated. I think it was Liverpool and Chelsea as well, and Arsenal multiple times as well. So it's basically anyone that's we've just actually slain everyone in their path.
At the Etihad, we battered everyone, but
Yeah.
in Europe this year, we haven't won a game not at the Etihad, which is a bit of a worry.
I was gonna say because a 1-1 draw at Leipzig, 7-0 away, 1-1 draw at Bayern, was it 4-0 away, and then was it a 1-1 draw again against Real Madrid, and then
Although the
4-0
group
away. It's just
the groups. Well, I don't really care about that. I think the Bayern one as well. It was basically a dead rubber, so like we should have really won, and they got that bullshit penalty at the end, but.
It's just the fact I know that it's not at home for Inter Milan, it's away from us as well,
neutral.
But it's still away from us. Is maybe our fans the fact that we're doing so well, or just home comforts? I don't know. That's my only like little worry about.
Well, there's like lots of reasons why teams do better at home, and I think it's the same for everyone. Obviously, you're used to your surroundings. You've got the fans on your side, which is the main thing. Also, your dressing rooms are usually designed to favour the home team and make it uncomfortable for the away team. But
so, if we do manage to pull this off, treble, back three-peat in the Premier League, are we I'm not going to say the greatest team in the world of all time, because I think Barcelona of Pep's sides would take that shout. But in English football, do you reckon we're the best team in English history, basically? That's what I'm going to ask.
Yeah, 100%. I think we are. I think we were before winning anything this year. I think our team in 17-18 to 18-19 was the best team as it is, and this just further proves it. I don't think it's a weird one, because I think that team was better. Those 2 years were better than our 2 previous seasons before this. But our run from January to now, I think we'd wipe the floor with any team in English history. And it's a weird one how you want to debate it, because when it comes to United's treble-winning team, I watched a lot of their matches over lockdown on the website called Footballia, which is a great website. If you want to watch old games, go watch that. And they were good, but I think you can just visibly see the difference in the teams. It's so much quicker now, so much more
just different
athletic.
areas of football.
Yeah, of course. I think we wiped the floor with them, and the way back then there wasn't that much movement. They sort of passed the ball and they were like standing still almost. Whereas I think these days now, footballers are just such insane athletes. I imagine there's a lot of doping in that, but yeah, I think we beat them. And in terms of legacy as well, you can't even.
That's what I mean. Really, it's not really about teams beating each other, because I think a lot of
team has won more than 3 in a row. No English team has won more than 2 Champions Leagues, won more than 1 Champions League in the same era. So you can't use legacy to deny it either. So
yeah. Because I think even United fans would agree that their 08 or 09 side, until City started getting close to the treble, they'd probably say they prefer their 08 or 09 side just
Oh, 100%. And
entertainment
now,
wise, football wise. But now since we're getting close to the treble,
yeah.
they're just like, oh no, the 99 side. And they
Well, what
even
it is, it's different arguments, and they'll use different terms and twist it. They would have said that was the best team, and now they'll say that, oh, this is the greatest achievement is the treble. They'll change
yeah.
the argument to suit what the outcome they want the argument to be is, but they can twist it how they want. If we win the treble, we're the best team ever, we're the greatest team ever, we've got the best achievement ever, and there's nothing they can say about it. So they can keep changing the argument all they want. They're going to lose it, whichever argument they go for.
It's a good time to be a City fan, that's for
Oh,
sure.
and that's the thing; it's not going to change either. We're probably going to go and win the league next season, and I think we'll be favourites for the Champions League again next season. Will we
Oh
win it?
yeah,
Maybe, maybe not. Probably not because it's the chances are less than 50%. But I think we'll win another one in the next couple of years. And when you think about it, when was the last time an English team won more than one Champions League in the same era? You'd have to go back to Liverpool in the 80s. So
yeah.
yeah, I think this City team is already the best ever if we win on Saturday, and I think it'll only improve that. And yeah. I think really we'll be talking about this team. I don't know about you. You've got kids or anything, but I guarantee you, when my
No.
kids grow up, they'll be asking me about this game and this sort of City team, and I can show them this video. I'm like, here's me, dad, talking about this. And if you're listening, say hi and look after your mum. Get me a
uh,
sandwich, but
Give me a stop.
do your
Actually,
homework.
I actually want to just throw in some. Just because if we do win the treble, we kind of
Yeah,
have completed English football. Um, how long more do you see Pep staying for? If
I
Because it's one
it's
of
a
those
weird one.
things. If we don't win the Champions League, I feel he'd stay until we win it. But is it getting to a stage where he stayed so long? As soon as he wins one, it kind of like he can just
No,
bounce in peace now.
No, I don't think it makes a difference because I think you'll always want to win it again. You'll win it this season. Sure, the first one is the most important one,
Yeah,
but I think we could win it for the next 3 years and he'll have the desire and hunger to go again. And I think he'll only leave when he loses that hunger and desire. I think as long as we keep refreshing the squad and giving him what he wants, it's like anyone. Everyone has stuff they love and want and they have dreams, and Pep just loves football and he'll always love football. So as long as we keep giving him what he wants to the tools he wants to succeed, he's going to want to stay here and keep winning and building his legacy and achieving as much as possible. So I don't think he's going for a while. I know
do
people they always get their hopes up and then they get, oh, he's only got 1 year left and then he signs a
you
2 year deal. It's like, I say to them all the time, like, don't get your hopes up, mate. He's not going at the end of the season. They're like, oh, no, he is. You're going to win the Champions League, or all the ban will come along, FFP will get you. And then,
know what
but it
do you know
doesn't.
what the funny thing is? He's
No, the
fallen.
funny thing is, it's people who don't understand City and they think they do. They get their hopes up and then they're wrong because they have no idea what they're talking about. And it's just hilarious because, like, yeah, we knew you were wrong, you idiot. But yeah,
But
carry on.
what I was going to say, the funny thing is that he's fallen with the club so much, and a big reason for that is actually the fact that we've gotten so many charges. We're getting so much hate from UEFA, from Premier League.
Siege
I think
mentality. Yeah.
he's just siege mentality. I think he's backing the club so much. He's just kind of
Yeah.
fallen in love with it so much. It's like it's just ingrained in him now. Like the fact that we went on that 12 game winning streak as soon as they charged us. It's like, and the
Yeah.
same thing happened a couple of years ago with the UEFA ban.
Oh, 100%. It fully motivates you. And I remember as a fan thinking at the time, like, when the charges came in, I was thinking, like, yeah, they might as well deduct us 15 points. We're not winning the league anyway. So who gives a shit? I don't really
Yeah.
care whether we come second or 17th, as long as, if we don't win it, we don't win it. But
No,
you go
no,
on to.
no. I'm always gonna disagree with you that because
Oh,
Champions League football is for signings anyway.
to be
I
not for
think.
signings, but I think we have a chance of winning it. So yeah, I would take having it over not having it because I think
Yeah.
we've got a decent chance of winning it. But if we're not going to win it next year, I wouldn't really give a fuck whether we play and lose in the quarterfinals to Bayern or not. But yeah, in terms of the Pep thing, I think I remember him saying that with Barca, it's completely different to Manchester, and why he likes it so much is because living in Manchester, you can go to the cinema with his kids, he
Yeah.
can do all these things and not get swarmed. Whereas in Barca, as soon as he goes out in public, he has to sign autographs 24/7.
Yeah.
So
It's just a
yeah, I think
lot
that
more chill.
he just seems happy and settled in Manchester. His kids are growing up now, I'm pretty sure. I know his daughter's like my age. So, yeah, Maria, if you're watching this, shout me out. My DMs are open.
Yeah, you're just hoping Maria's the name of the older one now.
Yeah. No, she's my age. I know she is, or like the year above me. But I know he's got a son as well. But I think they're all grown up now, so you haven't got to worry about school. I know a lot of footballers, they like to move right before their kids go to school, so they're used to a different country. Whereas Pep hasn't got to worry about that. He's an old man. His kids are old.
A bit like Gundogan actually. I think they're expecting, which is actually one of my
Yeah.
last points. Ilkay Gundogan. It looks like he's on the verge of renewing now. It's looking like a year plus an optional year. But the question is, I may have touched it on the last one we're in, but Ilkay Gundogan legend status. He's really pulled it out of the bag this season, and if you just go back through his resume the last couple of years, it's actually just ridiculous. But this year, he's just I don't know, not since Haaland's fallen off, but he's kind of not since he's fallen off, but I'm just saying he's kind of taken the mantle. Goal scoring wise, definitely clutch moments, ridiculous. Even like my voice now is mangled from screaming at that first goal at the FA Cup on Sunday. Just legend wise, where do you think he's ranking in City history, and does he maybe deserve a statue?
Okay, that was a very long question, but I will answer it in full. So I just want to say, first of all, the City admin can go fuck himself, because he posted that video, knew it.
Yeah, I've seen
what
that,
he
yeah.
was doing, and I knew what they were doing as well. Like, let's be honest, no one watch it. Okay, not many people. I'll be politically correct. Not many people. Very few people watch the women's team,
You're gonna get like channel cancer.
No, but that's the thing. They're going to get so much hate to the women's team. There's no need to do that. And so many people are going to go and hate on the women's team because of that stupid admin doing that stupid little stunt, get attention, which all it's going to do is get negative attention. But anyway,
that was obvious though. You called it as well, but it probably was obvious.
Obvious to me because I've got a bit of common sense. But there's a lot of people who saw that and saw like a girl with barely any hairs on her arms and thought it was a Turkish bloke.
Yeah. But and then I see a guy's beard, like, isn't it?
Exactly, but yeah, in terms of the contract situation, I think he probably will stay now. I thought he was going to Barca, but it looks like he'll stay. But what concerns me is Saudi chucking 100 million at everyone. Yeah. And with him being obviously he's a Muslim. They're getting a lot of people who are big in that region. It wouldn't surprise me if he went over there, but I do think he'll stay. But if he is to leave, it'd be either Barca or Saudi. But yeah, in terms of legendary status, I think he's certainly a legend now. If he captains us to our first ever Champions League and to the treble, you can't deny him of being a legend, especially after that FA Cup final and the other league title goals and big moments. He's certainly a legend. I think statue, as I just said, he's a Muslim, and I'm pretty sure then they don't expect around to have statues. So not allowed to
really?
Yeah, I can't remember. I've got a few Muslim friends and they said something like that, but maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, if he agrees and wants it, then him holding the Champions League. I think I saw that esteemed company bloke. He tweeted about him and De Bruyne holding the Champions League together, making that a statue, and I agree with that completely. They both deserve statues, and that would be perfect. So
that would be because KDB I think is almost nailed on at this stage with the whole.
I think De Bruyne is our best ever player as it is. If he wins us the Champions League, there's no question. I know like Aguero and Yaya, they were the ones who company started it, but I always have Silva a level below them. But I'm not going to get into that because I'll get people like crying. Silva just didn't have as many iconic moments. Okay, but anyway, I think De Bruyne, when you look at what he's won in this era under Pep, and he's been our best player by a mile, I think he's unquestionably number one in our history. I know he wasn't there for as long and all that, and he wasn't there before the Sheikh's company, but he's number one, and he deserves a statue.
By the time he leaves, he'll be here for 10 years anyway. So
he joined in 2015, didn't he?
16. So next year.
It was 2015 because Pep joined in 2016 as the year before Pep.
Oh yeah, I meant 15-16 season. That's the start of the 15-16 season. Yeah, so he may be 9-10 years being here, because his contract's till 2025 anyway. So,
yeah, Aguero was 9, wasn't he? Was he 10? He joined in 2011.
He didn't get a testimonial, did he?
Yeah, but no, he was 10 because he left after the Champions League final in 2021. He joined in 2011.
Yeah. But
yeah, I think De Bruyne, if he left us now, he'd be considered a legend. He's done 8 years. won us all those trophies. Yeah, same with Gundogan. I think he's done enough. With Sterling, he was a bit more on the fence, and because of the way he left, I wouldn't consider him a legend now. I
Oh
still
no,
have him.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I still have respect for him and like
Oh
what he
yeah,
done for the club, but
like
don't really think
I would have even
yeah.
kept him in the summer. Like just his profile, even I would have kept him. But yeah, that's a different story.
I was a bit indifferent. I didn't really care, to be honest. I think because Grealish has done so well, it hasn't really mattered. But yeah, I think I have Sterling in the same category as like Laporte and players like that who've been good servants, but they're not.
Just
I'm not going to be telling my grandkids about I'm Eric Laporte. I'm a part of the
yeah,
things against Tottenham, maybe.
apart from he's a pussy boy.
Yeah, oh man, he shaved his legs. I shaved my feet, but not my whole legs. But anyway, we're not getting on to that.
What the? Where did that? Did he
No,
shave his legs or something?
yeah, completely. And that's like,
Oh, didn't know that.
yeah, but
Why do you know that?
I saw something like I saw it was like a story after the game. I was like, why has he done that? But anyway, I guess he's a pro athlete. He's got to do that. But yeah,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
regards to Gundogan, yeah, 100% legend. Hope he stays. I think he will. And it's a much better outcome than getting Bellingham. And I know I don't want to bang on
Oh
about
yeah.
Bellingham being shit, but you think as well the money we're going to save. I know I'm very big on it doesn't matter. It's not my money, but the club have
Yeah.
allocated money, and now they've got all this spare money. They're like, okay, well, we allocated it. We might as well go and chuck it at Guardiola. If they were like indifferent on getting him, now they're certain on getting him. So yeah, but yeah, I think he's a much better player as well. The midfield is a bit of concern because we don't have a lot of depth and they're all getting a bit old. De Bruyne is old, Gundogan's old, Bernardo's probably leaving or leaving next year maybe. I think Kovacic coming in is about 30. So we could do with maybe like a Bellingham would have been good to be fair, I wouldn't mind them. But we could do with a younger alternative. But yeah.
Calvin Phillips.
Can go fuck himself. No, he's not even young. People think he's young.
I know he's not young, but he's just younger than the rest. But yeah,
I don't even think he is. I think he's like 28 or something.
I thought he was on 26, 27, which isn't that much less, but it's still prime time.
But he's like, I remember because Rodri's like a couple years younger than him, but everyone just assumed he was some youngster because they'd never heard of him until like 2 years ago. He's not good. They all thought he was going to be like, he was basically Lavia with curly hair, but he's just Phil Jones with curly hair.
Fair enough. So, Champions League final Saturday, potential for the treble. I'm assuming you're going with us for the win.
Yeah, as you know, I don't really like doing score predictions.
I was going to ask you, but I remember you saying that. But yeah,
yeah, I'll give you a prediction. I won't give us. Well, maybe I'll give a score. I'll see how I feel in 5 seconds' time. But I think the game will go. We'll dominate possession. Inter Milan will sit back, and the first 10 minutes will just be don't concede, no matter what. Do not concede, and then after that they'll grow into the game a bit, get a few more chances. But I do think eventually we'll win. I think we'll win. If I had to give a score, I'd say 1-0. I think it will be quite a tense game. I think it'll be like how we ended against United, where we were sort of hanging on a bit, but we were comfortable hanging on. We were comfortable defending. So it wasn't. Yeah, I say 1-0, probably a header from like a corner or free kick. Had to predict who that would be. Maybe Stones. I think Gundogan's too short to score from headers, I'm afraid. Or he did do it against Villa, but I think I'm on about like a set piece. So yeah, I'd say one of Stones, Diaz,
basically anyone over 6 foot.
Yeah, it'll be like one of them, won't it? Just like header near far post, so or maybe like a flick on down to Haaland or something like that. Yeah, that's my prediction. What's yours?
I'm going to go with 2-1, basically similar to the United game, us going ahead, but then some dodgy decision, just a stupid goal in general. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's just I don't know if it's due, but I just feel like it. But then
Edison, is that what you're thinking?
No, not even just something like a silly penalty, like with the Jack Grealish one.
Yeah. That's the point. To be fair, Edison hasn't made an error in a long time. I don't know. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's improved and it's like good form and not law of averages are gonna balance out on Saturday and he's gonna concede. But
no, I think there has been an upturn in his form. I don't know what it is. But there definitely has been.
Well, with Edison, he makes the difficult saves. It's just he has like a lapse in concentration and then doesn't save the easier shots.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess the thing is we don't really concede many shots. We don't really have to do a lot.
No, maybe that's a problem for him. But
yeah. So yeah, as I said, I think we'll win. I think it will be. It's going to be stressful either way. I don't think we're going to like smoke them. It's not
No.
going to be a 4-0 like Madrid, but I think we should win. I think we should look the better team like we did against United. I think they're a similar level to United. I'd say they're better, but I don't think they're. Well, let's put it this way. I'm seeing a lot of people crying about getting Inter Milan in the final. But, oh, they're on a win streak. Oh, we're actually going to lose. And all this like
Yeah.
bitches. They all are. Let's be honest, they're bitches. But if you said at the start of the season you're going to get a final with Inter Milan,
Yeah.
and you say you include the context, include the form, are Inter Milan other than
Snap
us
your hand off.
the next? Yeah, are they the next best team in the world other than us? No, of course they're not. Even in the form they're in and winning the cup against Fiorentina and all that, they're good, but
Sure,
you'd much rather play them than Madrid or Bayern.
We're on our own win streak, bar the.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm not counting the Brighton and
10
Brentford
times
games
more
because.
scared of us than we are of them.
Oh yeah, I'm not counting the Brighton and Brentford games
Yeah.
because our main guys didn't start them anyway. So
Yeah, I think it's like since January or that Spurs game at the end of January. I think we played like 25 games. Or
Spurs
like
doesn't count either.
Yeah, I'm
Spurs
on
don't
about, I'm on about since that game, since like the charges came in.
Yeah.
We've only drawn 4 or 5 games, and I think we've won the rest. And some of those draws were in the Champions League where we won the second leg, so we basically won that anyway. I think Forest was the only game we drew, which we needed to win, or which we didn't need to win anyway, because Arsenal are fucking bottle jobs. But we're not going to. No, I've spoken enough today. We're not going to go on to that.
Yeah.
I made enough enemies with Harry Kane.
Yeah, we got your Harry Kane Dortmund rant in there, so we're good to go. But yeah. Treble. That's the prediction. Treble incoming. Thanks for coming on the channel again, Luke. But yeah.
Best of luck.
But yeah, thanks for coming on, Luke. That was the Champions League final preview, FA Cup final kind of review thrown in there at the start as well. But yeah, don't forget, if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe, like the video. It helps other City fans find the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on the FA Cup and the Champions League final. I was going to say how much do you think we'll win by, but do you think we'll win at all? Treble, does that make us the greatest English side of all time? Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like I said, like it helps other City fans find the video. Subscribe if you're new, like I said. And yeah, I shall see you next time, hopefully for a Champions League final review that we've won. But yeah, I shall see you next time. Peace.